Dwayne, thank you. Oh my goodness gracious me. I'm talking to Dwayne Ladejo. Ladejo, how do you pronounce your surname?
Let's say Ladejo.
Ladejo.
Nigerians would say Ladejo, but I'm British, so Ladejo.
So that's great. I mean,
I'm British Nigerian, but I'm born and raised in.
Brilliant. And you live in Australia. But we have known each other, oh my goodness me, for maybe over 2 decades. People may not remember, but we had first maybe when you were dealing with Dwayne's World, we had your picture on the side of the bus. You were going to the Olympics. I mean, it really was Dwayne's World. It was a fantastic time in Camden Town with one of the celebrities that's going to be our guests on this podcast is Ian Rum Ambassador
Burrell, who is a very, 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 very close friend of both of us, cousin actually, and yeah, he's been in my world since I've been 17 years old.
Yeah, so we've been around the track, and I'm really honored. I'm grateful that you're coming all the way from Australia to be with us at the Pressure Performance event. And I know you know a lot about pressure and performance. You've been on the TV for 2 decades on 2 continents. Are you in America yet? Or is that, but yes, take that over.
Well, they did some reruns in America. That's what I did find out. I didn't get paid for those either, so I can remember that.
Well, we had, and I'm talking about Dwayne's World, Gladiators, the Olympics, and I know you. I mean, we went to Malaga in Spain when I was supporting you, doing some coaching in the Masters for the superstars in the UK. We had some.
Not Masters. It was the real deal.
It was a real deal. The real superstars. It
was the real deal. There was no Masters in that one. No.
We had some fun there. Because of that event, I got to meet Brian Robson. Do you remember the people there? Brian Robson, the boxers, the sprinter was there.
There was everyone there. Amir Khan was there. You name it in British sport was there. The best of the best were there. And funny enough, that event influenced me creating Greatest Athlete.
Wow. And of course, you have the Greatest Athlete as well as the Gladiators in the UK where you were. What's your gladiator name?
Yeah, Predator. And I look back at that, and I shouldn't have allowed that to happen. I should have made sure that I had a different type. Looking at the politics and everything of things now, I should have never allowed Predator to happen. But you know what? I was a predator of bad people. And you know what? But the reality is the contenders, they were never bad people. So, like I said.
Yeah, it was great though. How many series? I think you did 2 series.
We did 2 series. We did 2 series of Gladiators with Sky One.
And I know you as a very entrepreneurial businessman because you've done working with youth, working with the track athletics. I mean, anyway, I'll stop talking. You're a multi-talented entrepreneur, sportsman, and real life celebrity, and you've done so much. Tell us a bit more about you from the horse's mouth, Dwayne.
Look, I created a TV after I finished doing a lot of the things that you talked about. I created a TV series called Greatest Athlete, and basically it was to find the best all-round athlete in the world. With my background in radio, television, and film, because I studied radio, television, and film at the University of Texas for 5 years, and I had a track scholarship there. I was also a decathlete, not just a 400-meter runner, and I decided I wanted to create a show that really exemplified the best all-round athlete in the world. Not just sports stars, but it's also everyday people too, men and women, and in their own field. And I wanted to actually put something that depicted all-round athleticism. And that was picked up over here in Australia, and that's how it ended up moving here. And that has been very interesting because I'm currently going through something right now that the sponsors and the actual The agency that I worked with copied my show. They redid the show. And I'm like, yeah, it shows obviously it was a very successful show. So talking about resilience, pressure to perform, you don't let people get away with doing stuff, you know. So I have to, you know, follow that through and go through the actual, you know, the legal stuff with the IP on that. But this is what it's all about. You're put under pressure in many different circumstances, whether it's in sport, whether it's in business, whether it's in life. People will challenge you. You know, they will take your stuff, they will recreate and try to actually make you feel you cannot perform. But nothing's going to stop me. You know, even in that situation, thankfully, I'm fine with it, because, you know, it's going to be a bad situation for them. But for me, I've decided that I'm not going to sit there and wallow about it. The fact that we had three very successful series together, and now I'm still pushing forward with Greatest Athlete. I've actually amalgamated, and not only is Greatest Athlete going to be still an all-star series, but it's now a sport. And that's the exciting thing about Greatest Athlete. It's a sport now, to find the best all-around sports person in the world. And it's a 1-3-1, and everyone gets their rankings, everyone gets their profiles, everyone gets also, they get all information about how to actually develop their individual skills and their all-round ability. They are continuously put under the radar to say, you need to improve this, you need to do this. This is how you can actually get your rankings up. This is how you actually can qualify. It's all amalgamated. Now, even the brand is also taking its own form, and we have our own apparel. We have our own mass participation. So that means something I created a long time ago, even before Hyrox, where people can actually go in and do tests and see if they can actually be in the top, whatever it is. I think it's 2 or 3, in order to qualify for Greatest Athlete, for the national champs and whatever. And so that's something that I have been continuously just keep pushing forward.
Let me just cut in there really quickly. I don't want to stop your flow, but I've had the privilege of seeing some of the stuff you're doing, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's cutting edge stuff. You've got all the metrics, the measurements. You've got some phenomenal athletes already on board there doing that. We can, and so for fans, we can see, never before we've seen this level of detail about the biometrics and how fast, how strong, how they recover. So you really are letting us know on this podcast, it's a world exclusive, the Greatest Athlete is coming, and it's awesome. It's going to be really, really tremendous, because they've literally covered every aspect of athletic in human performance. Back to you. Sorry about that, Dwayne.
No, you literally said it there, and it's not, funny enough, it's not just about the high performance. We also put it there for the everyday person, because it's also biohacking. And we have a part of Greatest Athlete, regardless of what scale you are, what ability you are, is what I call IMGA. And I Am Greatest Athlete, or IMGA, is all about you personally. It's about your personal growth. It's about you not giving up, you being persistent, taking advice, being actually inspired by the people around you and the people that you see in part of the Greatest Athlete family, and using that network to actually better yourself. So IMGA is a big part of that. It has affiliate programs with gyms, with all different types of, and influencers all over the world, trying to actually help you grow in order to achieve your goals. And it doesn't have to be to try and be in the Greatest Athlete, national champs, or rankings, or whatever we have there. It's about you continuously on a day-to-day basis, incrementally improving. And that is what GA is all about. It's about finding the greatest athlete within yourself.
Okay, what I want to talk about is our event, obviously, but what have you learned in your career, and what, because I talk about assets, our challenges are our assets, and pressure to performance is how we use the things we learn under pressure We don't throw them away. Don't sweep them under the carpet and be ashamed or afraid of them and try not to do again. We use it as an asset, as learning. So what learnings, what benefits have you gained from your career that you're bringing forward and that you may be talking to us about on the 6th of September?
I think the biggest key, the biggest learning that you can ever say is never give up. Never give up. If you have something, and that's why I talked about certain things earlier on, never give up. No matter how difficult or how people try to suppress, hold you back, even yourself. I think some of the times the biggest holdback is yourself. Never give up. Have that route, have that destination, and march forward to it. Because it's the same as they say. If you don't buy the lottery ticket, you can't win the lottery. And it's very simple. It's very, very, very simple. You know, most people's destination, it can be 1,000 to 1. But usually that's because that 1 in 1,000 doesn't give up. They stay focused. They stay in line. They know what they want to achieve. That is what made the difference between myself and the guys that I actually trained with and competed with in the University of Texas, or even at high school, is that I had this focus and destination, and I knew where I was going. I was getting on that train, and I was never getting off it until it arrived at its destination. That was the goal. And so every stop, every opportunity that I have, and maybe it was loud, it's like sirens pulling you off that train. Nah, it was never going to happen. I was making sure my destination was end goal. And until I reached that end goal, not stopping.
Wow.
And that's the key. Do not get off that train.
And you did it. I mean, you basically took the UK by storm in the. How many times did you go to the Olympics? Was it twice?
2 times two Olympics, two Olympic medals, 4 times European champion, World Cup gold medalist, silver medalist, bronze medalist, European Cup. Goodness, I think about seven golds, 3 silvers there, and bronze, I think. World Cup gold and silver, Commonwealth Games gold and silver. It was just yeah. And do you know what? Funny enough, in that time frame was actually quite short.
Yeah.
It was actually quite a short time frame because I stopped running 400 meters initially in 1996, and I started picking up medals in 1992. So it was only 4 years.
Wow, it was an intense 4 years, really.
It was an intense 4 years, and I decided to do the decathlon because that was something that I always wanted to do from a very young age. And then I went back to doing 400 hurdles. Well, I did 400 hurdles, and then I also did went back to 400 as well. And that's where I ended up creating, and I got into a lot of TV stuff at that time as well, with gladiators, with superstars, with, funny enough, a show, the very, very first show, Love Island, Celebrity Love Island. Which was interesting, which was quite fun. I was very, very good. I was very well behaved.
Hey, well, listen, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'd want to save something for the 6th when you're going to be joining us with some fantastic people. What are you bringing to the Pressure to Performance event in 6th of September? What can people be looking forward to when they come and join you?
Look, I think the key about Pressure to Performance is there's a catch line with it, or a log line with it, that is just true to everything. If you have mental health, you can create and form your mental wealth. If you're not healthy with your mind, it doesn't lead to that mental wealth that you need and that we want to achieve. And so I love that. I love the mental health to mental wealth. You know, that signifies everything. Because when our mind's healthy, our body becomes healthy, and everything allows us to be mentally wealthy. And my wealth and my success has never been a financial one. It's always been a what I can exude and give to the community. And more importantly, initially to myself, to allow me to give so much to everyone else. And that is mental wealth. And I love that. I love that.
I think we're all going to love you, and I can't wait to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, Dwayne Thorne-Ladejo, the greatest athlete, is going to be with us in Birmingham at Moseley on the 6th of September this year, a month and a half away. So please get your tickets and say bye-bye, Dwayne, please.
Bye, everyone. I'll see you there. Looking forward to it.